Yeah, I mean, you've had a chance now to think maybe a little bit more about it, but you were in there, I think, for a good 3 hours.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit before noon.
Yeah. So what kind of goes through your head now? You know, looking back on it or thinking back on it.
Well, being down there, it wasn't bad because it was light, and at least I was not hurt.
Yeah.
I banged up my knee a little bit, but I was a little concerned with how many people they were sending to get me out. All they really needed to do is send a rope down and a harness, and they could have pulled me up pretty quick. But
yeah.
I guess they don't know the situation, and they just plan for the worst. And
yeah. Do you remember the moment of sort of falling in that hole, or?
Well, falling in the hole when it was all covered with snow. So as soon as I stepped, at first I got kind of wedged myself right at the top, but I was in the point where I couldn't pull myself out, and with my son and my wife there, we just couldn't get myself out. And to be able to get back up, I had to drop my legs down to be able to come back up because of the way I was wedged in.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a lip.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get back out that way. So they tried to pull me up, and then eventually I had to, put my legs down to be able to come back up. Yeah. And they just couldn't pull me up.
And when you put your legs down, did you just start sliding down then?
No, we had a little shovel with us, so I was holding on to that for a little while, but eventually I just couldn't hold on any longer and just had to let go.
Wow, man, it's scary.
So I didn't know how deep the hole was.
Yeah.
I was hoping it wasn't going to be that deep.
Yeah.
Luckily, it wasn't that deep that it was a bad outcome. But
yeah. Do you remember the feeling of sliding down then?
It was a matter of a couple seconds from top to bottom. It wasn't.
Yeah.
All I remember is hitting the bottom and kind of bottoming out, and stood back up and kind of gave myself a quick check to make sure everything was still intact, and nothing really hurt bad, so I knew I was going to be okay. It's just a matter of getting out of that hole. Yeah.
Now, it sounds like there are going to be trespassing charges, from what I understand. Any thoughts on that?
No, it is what it is. Geocaches are supposed to be on property that's public property, or if it's on private property, you're supposed to have permission to get them.
Yeah.
Or to place them there. We didn't see any no trespassing signs along the way. We know it's along Seaway property, but from where we entered in, there's no trespassing signs or anything else, and there was no fences that we climbed over or through or around. So
yeah.
Although it's an an isolated area, but there's geocaches all the way along the canal, along the trails and everything else that are on Seaway property as well. So
yeah. Lesson learned. I mean, do you I'm guessing you're not going to give up geocaching, but
not at all. The outcome was good, so you just got to be a little bit more cautious where you're going, because you never know what's under that white snow.
Yeah.
Usually it's ice you have to worry about.
Okay.